Hi again. I've been rolling rocks off the hill. Big ones, a whole bunch of smaller ones. And I'm extending it out so it's got a bigger footing, because I'm going to have some rocks laid in here across this little threshold right here, and they're gonna sit level on here. So I'm gonna try it out to make it out of one or two pieces right here, see how it goes. But down here is all, except for the filler rocks, they're all bigger rocks, so it'll hold the weight for the chimney going up. So I guess I'm doing rocks today. But I rolled a couple of those down and most of these down today, and there's still more I gotta get. More. Like there is a huge one right there. I tried to pull it out and it's way too big, so. But other than that, instead of digging for the mud there, where I was digging the other day to make mud, I'm coming down the bank just a little bit. And where I was rolling these rocks down, it just nice dirt. Now there's going to be some rocks in there, but there's no tree roots that I can think of. It's down in here. I just knock off that plant, scrape all the crap away, and I can dig this part of the bank out for mud. Which means on the other side, let's get out of the sun. On the other side, where I'm digging it out, is right here. So I'm going to have to put a log from this tree right over to this tree, and then maybe a treetop from here over to this leaner I got right over there, or just set a log on there but nail it here across there, start putting brush here. That way this little patch right here isn't seen, because it'll take until fall. When the leaves start dropping on it, then you'll never see it. But so there's a side-by-side come up here the other day, and I guess they were trying to get up to the top of this hill, and there's just no way. I got a big ditch in there, and you can't get a vehicle, four-wheeler, side-by-side, you can't get nothing across it. It's probably 6 foot wide and probably 8 foot deep. Unless you put a bridge across it, you'd never get over it. And since this is all my property, these guys were not from here, because they took off and then they went up the other mine road trying to get up over here, and I guess they got shut down by the security guard over there, because that's a working mine over there. Now I own part of that, the hill. I own part of this hill over here, down over there, comes all the way back on the road up above. There's a road that goes above. It starts over where the mine road is and goes across here. This is just a ridge road up here. It's all the way down and around over onto this hill here, down to the pump station. And I own all this land up here. It's all 120 acres up here. So I went ahead and I put some no hunting and no trespassing signs up down by the access road. That way if anybody starts coming up here, they'll see them. They're nice, bright orange, bright red. And I've got a couple of them up so to keep people out of here. Somebody was up at the second pump station right before you start coming up onto my property. And they left beer cans everywhere, and they left trash everywhere. So I went ahead and I picked all that up, hauled it down and threw it in my trash. And a few days ago, came up here and went to park in my little parking spot where I parked down the hill right here. And there happened to be a McDonald's bag with a half-eaten like hamburger and stuff in it. And a little dipping sauce, so evidently they were eating chicken nuggets too. And they had just thrown it on the ground. I didn't think much of it. The very next day I come up, that bag was shredded. The little containers were with the dipping sauce, that was all ripped open and licked clean, and the burgers were it, and I think they ate the ketchup and whatever little fries or something that was in the bag. Ate all that up. So I know that was a bear that did it. There were bear tracks all over there, and I was like, okay. So I just picked up the little bag and all the little condiment packages and stuff, threw them in a little bag in the back of my truck, took it down. But since they're starting to come up here and throw garbage around, and they're all, what they do is they'll come up this road and look for a deer up the hill and shoot them from their side-by-side, which is illegal as hell. You can't shoot from a vehicle. And so I'm going to keep them out, and in about another month, I'll rig up a little thing to where after I pull my truck up, there's like a little mud bog there, take it around the hill, and by my no trespassing signs, I'm going to make it to where there's like some fallen trees that I can move out of the way real easy. Just, shove them off to the side, and then when I leave, I'll pull them back up, or I can pull them up behind the truck. Kind of block it off. That way, if somebody's coming up here and they say, crap, there's trees in the way, let's cut them down or whatever, I'll be like, no, you're not. So, I was going to let people come up here and just go up past here and go hunt, but they're starting to trash it. Nope, I'm done. That's what you get from people that ain't around from here. And these people like to throw their trash on the ground instead of packing it out like I do. It's not good for the environment. It just, why would you want to trash somebody else's land? I don't go to their house and throw garbage all over it. So respect is earned. So I'm just going to go ahead and shut it off. This is all my hunting area. Saw a bear this morning. I was getting ready to, well, I already had the fire going, but I was real quiet because I was just getting warmed up and ready to go to work and debating on what the hell I was going to do. And right up there is a game trail, and he was walking right along that game trail. So it's right up there where I kind of cleared it off. So I got a good shot up there when they walk across over there. And he didn't see me, but I saw him. It's that big male that's right up here. And he weighs 500, maybe a little bit bigger than that, 500 pounds. If he's a day. He's big. He's a real big bear. Not as big as that mama bear with her 2 cubs. She is huge. She's pushing 550, 600 pounds. But she has cubs with her, so that's out of the question. Cubs are out of the question. I won't do that. Mama with cubs, nope, won't do it. Won't shoot either one. But that big bear, he kind of sniffed around and just kept walking right along. I was just real quiet, keeping real still when I seen him. Had a couple deer up there too, so we'll see what else happens today. But yes, I've been just from this little spot right here. I rolled down all those rocks, and I've still got rocks here to pull out of the bank. I've got a big rock there, some rocks in there. There's another big rock, another one up here, another few of them up right there. And they all kind of congregate around the trees. It's because when they roll down, the tree stops them, and that's where they stay. And the roots like when a rock rolls down, because it kind of keeps the moisture towards the roots. So, I'm about ready to make up some mud, because I placed all them rocks. I got a couple more little ones to put in there. That way I'm not throwing so much mud into it, and it locks everything in place. All the mud is doing is it's just keeping it all steady. But the little rocks inside keep the rocks from doing this stuff. So once you get them down and where you can step on them, they don't move. Go ahead and mud it up, and then put mud on top of it for the next layer that goes down, and then you do the same thing. Put the big rocks on, shim it up with little ones, throw mud to pack it all in so it doesn't move, and the mud will just adhere to it. In the rain, the outside, yes, will wash off, but as soon as it gets down to where the rain's not hitting it no more, that mud stays and locks it all in. And when I get up to the floor, before I get to the floor, I got to fire up the saw and square that off, because it's big enough for me right now. So what I'm going to do is I'll fit it all up to where there's a rock that goes from where the chimney's going to be at. It'll go into the building, right? It'll slide right in there, and then I can put some other rocks, some flat ones down that'll match just about the height of it. And I'll put rocks on the side standing up, try and get them to about the height where I need them. If I have to, I'll knock off the ends with a hammer and the chisel. And then I've got to put that down about that far, because I'm going to have a flat rock up on top that's going to ride on those couple, right? And slide it in through the wall. That way there's rock all the way around the wall. And then if there's like a little gap, I'll put some chinking in there. Top, I'll do some chinking and everything around it. Maybe some mud to tighten it up. And then the rocks going in will be, I don't know, probably about 8-10 inches going inside. And I'll put the flooring rocks on for the bottom of the fireplace. Stand up some other ones, and I might build up like a little rock wall on each side instead of standing the rocks up. And then I'll put another flat rock in there. And then on top of that, wherever the crease is, I'll probably put some mud. And I'll put another layer of thin rocks over it. That way the smoke from the fire doesn't go up into that, where the little rock gap is. So it doesn't go up inside the cabin. And then I've got to tilt it up so the smoke goes up and out. So, anyways, that's what we got planned for today, boys and girls. We're going to work on the fireplace section of it. That way, when I get the next 12-foot log, I'm going to, on the top log here, the log that I put on's got like a little swoop to it. So I've got to take the chainsaw and flatten that out for the next log that goes on there. And maybe just cut a little bit off the log going on there so it fits nice and tight. And then that'll go over those rocks and lock that all in. And this door right here is going to be big enough so when I set my log up there, I won't have to, I can cut just a little bit of it in, and that way I can put my 1-inch boards. I'll have to square that up before the top log goes on it. Then this side will be done with the holes. But I'm going to leave the door off this so I can slide logs from this way. And when I get to the door, that'll stay open so I can walk in and out of it, put logs through it and everything else. And because I got to bring the 17-footers in. That's a definite sure. So if I'm bringing them from this way, I go through the little hole. If I'm bringing them from that way, I bring them through the doorway. And it makes it easy. I don't have to lift it, but it's high. It's about, I don't know, waist high to the bottom of the little door and to the front door. So I slide the log in about 5 foot, pick up the butt end and shove it in. So it's been working that way pretty good. Plus, if I have the wheels on the log on the back end, I could pull it farther in, take the wheels off, give it the last little shove, or go to the front and just drag it in. So it's working. I've got another, I don't know, 8 or 9 trees I got to deal with, cut them. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 more 17s that I can get out of those logs over there. And a bunch of 12s. I've still got my 12s, and I've got 17s over here. Plus, I'm getting picky on the trees. The big saw is down at the house. I got to fix that today. Work on the car today. And then tomorrow I'll come up here in the morning, work up here. Then when I go back down, I've got some brush to pick up, finish mowing the lawn. The yard has got little humps where they used to have a mobile home in there. And so I got to bust down these little humps, and it's got a whole ton of rocks. I'll throw that in the back of the truck. I'll bring all this up, and I've got a slash pile that I'm making. I'll throw the slash into that. So it's all it is tree branches and weeds and crap like that. The rocks, there's some dips in the road and stuff where it's kind of washed out and stuff. I'll throw it in there, make it a little bit flatter so it's not so rough on the trucks or the vehicles. So that's the plan, Stan. I've got much more of anything to do other than I'm going to start making mud and setting these rocks in here. My back will be hurting today, but I still have my monster, haven't had my breakfast. I brought up some Pop-Tarts and stuff, so. Fire's kind of dwindling. Put some more wood on it. And y'all sitting there going, well, you just cut that wood. You got to save it for the winter. Well, children, I have a crap ton of deadfall logs. They're not rotten, because rotten wood doesn't like to burn. But these are like within the last couple of years they fell down. And they're right next to this road, so I'll just pull them down, chop like 6-8 feet of them off, throw it on my shoulder, pull them up here, and go to cutting and splitting. I've got a little stack right here of just the used ends and stuff of the what I was using on the cabin. So I cut these up into usable logs and stuff for the fireplace. So I'll split all this up, and through this little process of making the cabin, I will come up with a ton of them. And I gotta fire up the chainsaw anyways and finish up my ladder today or tomorrow. I've got the logs here. I just stopped on it yesterday. I was fiddly farting around, but I do need to make this ladder at some point in time, and since I've already got it started, might as well finish it. It's going to be 8 foot tall. It's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rungs in it. Not too bad. Space them out about 1.5 feet, so it doesn't the steps don't bounce or wobble. They'll be nice and straight when I get up on there with like a bucket of something or some boards or whatever. So make it stout enough to where 8 foot won't get me up on the outside, right? So at some point in time, I may make a taller, well, it would be if I was to stand on the top rung. So if I do that, what I'll do is I'll take a piece of rope, right? And I'll put it around the top rung and nail both ends to the log. That way it can't come back. I'll nail it tight up there so I can stand on the top rung to chink all the stuff that I need to chink up on the front side. So I think an 8 foot ladder ought to do the trick. If I have to, I'll make another ladder, probably 12 foot, add 4 feet to it. So because the inside is going to be about 6 or 6.5 feet, and then I've got another 3 foot, so that's 9 foot. 8 foot ladder should do it, because me standing on an 8 foot ladder and I'm 5 foot something, that's 13 feet. So I think I've got enough arm reach to do it. I think the 8 foot ladder ought to do the trick for all of it. So, and then on the back side, if I lean that the 6 footer will lean. So whatever. I have enough. I think the 8 foot ladder will do. But anyways, this be me moving rocks today, building the fireplace today, and getting it ready to set. I've got the 1 12 footer to set in here. If I have enough time and I feel like doing it, I'll go get the 12 footer, put it in for the doorway, grab a couple 17s, move them down here for tomorrow and get ready to set those in. And then when I get up here, I'll find some 12 footers, pull them down in here and get them ready, and start putting this in together where the fireplace is going to be at. And I should have enough of the chimney. I can build a small fire in there to start drying out the mud and stuff. The chimney won't be very big, but I will build up on it as I go up with the wall. I'll go ahead and build up the chimney a couple feet. That way, when I put the log in on the inside, I can put the ladder up there, right? And I can work on the log, and then it'll be like 6 inches away or even right up against those logs. I can go ahead and build up the chimney until I get up to the peak of the roof. When I get up to the peak of the roof, then it should be already built up high enough, so when I get to the roof part of it, I just cut a hole and it'll match around it, so it's no big deal. And if not, I can get up on the roof with a bucket full of rocks, put the rocks on the roof with like a little board to stop them all, and then build up a bucket of mud, stick it up there, mud, put the rocks, and then do the top of it. So, but anyways and anywho's, I'm just working my butt off and watching wildlife go by. So, anywho's, just be me. Ha 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 ha. Old crazy little mountain man I am. Little outdoorsman I am. But anyways, you know what time it is. I know what time it is. It's time to go back to work. So, until a little bit, I'll wait for it. Here it comes. See ya.